The online hacking group Anonymous has stolen a trove of data from a U.S. security intelligence firm. The activists have shown Al Jazeera what they say are thousands of stolen emails, passwords and credit card details from the company Stratfor. Its clients include the U.S. Defense Department, media organizations and law enforcement agencies, and Bank of America, the United Nations and the defense contractor Lockheed Martin. Anonymous says it has used the information to make donations to charities like the Red Cross and has shown Al Jazeera supposed screenshots of receipts for the transactions. For more on this, I'm joined from Las Vegas by Kevin Mitnick. He's a computer security consultant and a former hacker. Thank you very much for joining us. So
thank you for having me on your show.
Sure. So how do security breaches like this happen, Kevin?
They're constant, and I think it really illustrates that there's a lot of companies out there that still are the low-hanging fruit. And in this particular case, allegedly Stratfor's website was compromised, which likely means that there was a web application that was internet-facing that wasn't secure.
So can companies put any kind of systems in place to ensure that something like this does not happen again?
Definitely, there are security products, but more importantly is security testing. I don't believe Stratfor had done the proper security testing, and that's by hiring companies that do what we call penetration testing. I mean, I've been doing penetration testing for years, and I have a 100% success rate. So it really shows that there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, but it's important to consider consulting outside firms that do security consulting to have them test your internet-facing website applications to make sure they're not vulnerable. But another thing I read about in the Wall Street Journal is Stratfor had customer credit cards stored in a back-end database that were unencrypted, meaning that it was in violation of what they call, they were in violation of PCI compliance. And companies really need to consider encrypting any type of credit card information, because if they get caught, meaning if they get attacked and the credit cards are exposed, not only does that cause a mess, but they could get fined by the credit card associations like MasterCard and Visa.
Okay, now you're a former hacker. Help us understand, why do you think it was that Anonymous went after big business?
Well, who really knows if it's anonymous? I mean, one group could be claiming they're anonymous to steal credit card information to make it look like the real Anonymous is doing it. So we really don't know who did it, but it's obviously to get media attention. That's what I think the goal here. And it's causing a huge mess, because what happens when they use a credit card fraudulently, what happens is the merchant has to do a thing called a chargeback. And it's a costly and it's a very time consuming. So the consumer sees the unauthorized transaction, they have to call the bank, claim it wasn't authorized, then the bank has to reverse the charge, it does a chargeback on the merchant, and the merchant actually gets dinged for chargebacks. So it's a really unfortunate situation.
All right, okay. Kevin Mitnick, thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you for having me on your show.